It's an old fort. An
So
old
it's
fort.
Fort Karen. So like Fort Karen instead of it's
Yeah,
basically okay.
yeah. But it's Duncarron. So yeah.
Duncarron,
So
but it translate. Yeah,
fort.
got it. Got it, got
Yeah.
it.
So um, I just got this idea to build a place where kids could come and be educated about their own culture and heritage, and also, people from around. Well, actually at the time, to be honest, I never really thought about
To be
people
honest, what?
coming from all around the world. It was more about creating an educational facility. Nobody wanted to help me fund it, so I never got any lottery funding. I didn't get any government funding. So the
Surprise.
combat team, sorry,
I'm really surprised. I mean,
uh,
I've obviously seen photos of what this looks like. It's massive. You should be so proud. You are so proud. It's beautiful, and heritage is so important. We forget who we are, we forget everything. Family, everything is so vital. So I'm really shocked, Charlie, that nobody wanted to
yeah, well,
chip in. It
there's a
helps the
lot of there's
government.
a lot of
It's Scotland right there.
I know. There's a lot of reasons. I mean, if I had letters after my name, and I was a scholar, of some stature, then I probably would have got the funding that I needed. But as
Ah,
other people have, but it wasn't forthcoming. So I used the Combat International
right.
team. Its whole purpose was to raise money for Duncarron. So all the guys, all the volunteers of Duncarron and the clan, agreed to put in, like, at one time we were putting 50% of our income into Duncarron. Me
Wow.
included. I was getting paid more than everybody else because I was managing everything.
Right.
But I still took the same as everybody else. But so effectively, I put in more over the years, loads more. It's quite crazy, really. But I think we've raised and spent in excess of 3 million of our own money
Ooh,
to date to be where we are now today. And we're still spending. It's ongoing. There's always repairs and renewals required. So we're seeking lottery funding at the moment.
okay.
Um, Looking for assistance because I believe that their criteria has changed somewhat since 1995 and 96. And I just gave up. I just gave up on them after that. I was like, well, I'm going to do it myself anyway. So
Right.
so we did. We did. So I take great joy sometimes standing back looking every now and again when I as an old friend told me to do is stop and smell the roses. I do stop and I do smell the roses and or
They
the
smell
thistles
good?
rather. Smell the thistle and just look around Duncarron and kind of appreciate, what we've managed to put together. And I couldn't have done it without the help that we've had. The hours in labour alone
Right.
must must go into millions, millions and millions, manpower and man hours. So and we are where we are now, But there's always room for development. We're always trying to better it. And as we've had a few movies come and film in there as well. It was never meant to be a film set, but in order for it to survive, we have to have a foot in the door with film,
Right. Right.
have a foot in the door with corporate entertainment, group tours, and of course the education. Because ultimately, we'd love the schools to come and not have to charge anything.
Right.
Because I was always a strong believer, and this is why I set it up in the first place was that that edu children shouldn't have to pay for their own education.
Right.
Yeah, and the other thing that spurred me on with it as well was it wasn't until 1996 we were allowed to be officially by this curriculum, the educational curriculum, teach our own culture and heritage in our schools.
Why? Is it because of
Be-
England? Why?
because the law that was passed probably 300 and odd years previous, when after the Jacobite Rebellion, they banned all bagpipes, culture, dress. You couldn't even wear the plaid, the kilt. They banned our language, and things never really recovered from there. So, we became very anglicised and in the central belt of Scotland. So we weren't allowed to teach our own culture and heritage. It was never included. And anytime you ever asked about it, which is what spurred me on my journey when I was a kid, we were told that we weren't being taught that. You know, we had to learn British history. So
Speak Gaelic?
a little bit. My son's fluent. My son
Oh,
Finn,
wow.
he's fluent. My older son, he's 7'2".
Oh
Uh,
my God, what?
yeah, he's a big lad. Basketball player size, like.
Oh my God. Is he going to be one
When
of
he,
your
when he,
fighters?
I'm 16. I'm about 100 kilo, and when he hugs me, I feel like a small child.
Oh my
Well,
God.
he's a big,
Whoa.
he's a big lad. Aye. So is the next one. But yeah, yeah, it's been a long journey trying to get
Yeah.
Duncarron up off the ground, and I think it's taken 20 odd years of my life, and most of that was voluntary. I've tried various ways of raising money, you know, through music and through corporate entertainment and combat and all kinds of
Right.
stuff, and that's all going to continue. But yeah, it'd be nice if somebody came along and gave us a hand sometime, like the lottery fund, and we
Well,
can tidy the place up even more. And you know, I mean, the place is immaculate now. It got a bit neglected for a while because we had no money, and I was away all the time trying to raise money, and things weren't going to plan. So I had to step back in and take the reins again. And now, the last 4 or 5 years, I've changed things around and picked it up, and it's we're getting people coming from all over the world to come and see it because of Outlander.
yeah, I think it films there, right? Or
Filmed it for
something there.
season 7, episode 4.
Very
Yeah,
cool. So what is the trust? Because the
the
Clanranald?
trust,
Huh?
the
I'm
trust.
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. The Clanranald Trust for Scotland is an educational charity, and
Okay.
I, I wanted to create this this thing. This I wanted to build Duncarron, but I didn't
Right.
want it to be somebody's fruit machine or somebody's income. It
Right.
had to it had to be protected. So we set up myself, my oldest son's mother, Pippa, and my mother. They set up this charity, and it was to protect everything that we tried to achieve in education.
Right.
So and we had to be a charity to get any kind of support. At least we thought we had
Understood.
a charity to get
Okay.
any kind of support, and it never came. So, but we just pushed on and made our own, supported ourselves anyway, and yeah, tried our best to create as many activities as possible to raise the money for the charity, so the
Right.
charity could fund the Duncarron project.
And schools aren't collaborating with the trust to bring this
They come and visit. They come to Duncarron, or we
right.
go to them. We go
Oh,
into the
okay.
schools. We take all our artifacts, historical, but we also take movie props
You
for
actually have stuff there?
the fun side. Yeah, we've got a ton of stuff, man. We've
Like
got
what?
we've
Coolest
got
item.
if you go on Robin Hood, the one with Russell Crowe, there's a battering ram.
Oh,
Russell Crowe
cool.
donated, but he donated that battering ram to Duncarron. On
Wow.
Outlaw King with Chris Pine and everybody,
Mhm.
and Tony Curran. They the production themselves. A good friend of ours, Danny McGrath, is a director and an assistant director. He donated the the trebuchet.
Okay.
So it's like a big catapult. It looks like it's weighted at one side and it's centrifugal force catapults.
Fun.
Uh,
That's the funnest thing ever. Just catapulting forward. Whoa.
yeah, I mean, this trebuchet, yeah, it's got catapult. It looks like a catapult, but it's not. It's a
Wait, what
different
is it? What is it? I
mechanism.
want to look it up. Hold on.
A trebuchet,
Okay, I'm gonna look it up. Hold on.
Trebuchet.
Oh, I've seen this before. It's like medieval.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
you use these things in the movie, we've got a ton of costume, we've got a ton of shields and swords.
Right.
When we were on the last duel, Matt Damon donated a whole bunch of prop swords and stuff, that you can
That's cool.
use in the background. They're not real, but they can still hurt when you get hit with them. But he donated a whole chest of them
Oh, you
to.
must have been so excited.
Yeah, it was. It's always lovely to get these things. Yeah, they mean a lot to us as well, because we put our heart and soul into these
Yeah.
movies. So when we get something, and it's not about the money always, when we get something, get gifted something like that, it's nice. It's a nice touch.
I like that. It's a nice thought.
Yeah.
It's like I'm smelling the roses with your last statement. I like it. It's sweet. So, what is your favorite film? This is the last question. But what is your favorite film that you ever put your heart and soul into?
I'd say Outlaw King.
Really? You've
Yeah,
done
it
like
was
Arthur and all these things. That one, why? What is it about it?
because we filmed it in 74 different locations in Scotland. It was
Whoa.
it was about our Scottish king, and
Okay.
it was even the critics are hard pushed to criticise most of it. There's only one or two little things in there that are not entirely historically accurate.
Right.
And the weaponry and the costume was top shelf. Everything was like properly researched. All the weapons were historically authentic.
I gotta see
Um,
this.
the costume as well. It's called Outlaw King, and out of all the battles that I've been in, I would say that when I sat and watched it in the theatre, it's the first time I've ever had my breath taken away by a battle scene that I was involved in, or
That's
even the fact that it was in a movie. For the first time in my life, I sat and watched a movie without looking for things and picking things. I thought, I'm going to see it again anyway. I'm just going to watch it. And I did, and it blew my socks off, the way they filmed it. Because you're in amongst it all, and the mud's flying around, the blood's flying
right.
everywhere. There's horses, almost trampling on you. You're in danger, like and there's all this chaos and fighting going
Right,
on
right,
around,
right.
shouting and screaming, and there's mud flying everywhere, bodies flying everywhere,
There's bodies.
people getting thrown, and yeah, oh, there's uh, right. So you never get a chance to focus, and you never really get an idea where it fits in the movie either until you see it played back to you, and then you're like, I was gobsmacked, absolutely gobsmacked.
Wow.
So for serious like awe factor, I would say yeah, definitely Outlaw King. For fun and like buzz and like general like let's have a good smash up. It was Gladiator and Robin Hood. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I
Had a
like Robin Hood. What's my
had
favorite?
a brilliant time on that movie. Yeah, brilliant time on that movie. There was a whole scene in the evening where it was at night and it was a marketplace and the guys were people round fires getting drunk. We were all throwing each other through the fire and everything, man. It was nuts.
Oh my gosh. Memories like this are good. You could say them and then you laugh and enjoying what you do is so like important because you can make lots of money on it. Of course, everybody wants to make lots of money, but how you feel is so important. And I love that every time you say these sentiments, you just smile. You love it. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we've got some really cool memories. We were always wondering, like, what would happen if we all ended up in the same care home.
Oh my God, you're already thinking about like the
Imagine.
nursing homes?
No, I was no, I'm not. I'm not. It was one of the lads brought it up as a joke. Can you imagine a bunch of hairy guys all in a care home in wheelchairs
When
arguing
I
about
threw
this?
you over.
I fought in Rome. No, you didn't. I was there. Blah blah blah. I was fighting in the 12th century. They think you're like Diwali.
Oh man, yeah, I remember when I stabbed you. Did you heal well? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I remember
Remember
when I
that time you
decapitated
smacked me with that
you.
axe? Remember the time you smacked me around the head with that axe and like blah blah. Yeah. Oh man, we had such fun. Diving on each other and like in the sea. You're running through seawater. You're up to your knees and
Insane.
you're jumping on your mate and
Ah,
you, you both go in the water. You're
oh
fighting
my God.
and
That's
laughing your
great.
heads off after.
Does that feel real to you too? Like when you do it, like a part of you feels like you're there in that moment.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite easy to get in the moment.
There.
Yeah, yeah, we've had a few incidents like that. I remember on Gladiator when we're standing at the woods and we're screaming at the Romans, and I had 400. I'm standing on a mound and I shout in Germanic. And I've got like 400 guys behind me, all screaming and shouting. And I turned around and looked at them. The hairs standing up the back of my neck. You know, it's like I still get that to this day when I hear
Oh,
that, and if ever I see the movie, you know, the opening scenes, it's like to this day. Yeah, it was quite a buzz. A lot of good times, a lot of good fun. Met a lot of lovely people as well, from costume to makeup to
right.
stunt guys. You know, stunt guys have been awesome with us over the years, and you know, it's like we just pick up where we left off next time we see them. You know,
Right.
it's good. Yeah, it's that kind of, it's got that kind of camaraderie about it. Yeah,
Well,
all for clan.
definitely, I loved having you on. You're one of the funnest interviews I've had because you're
Yeah,
so passionate. You have so much passion. I could see the actor, obviously, because there's so
yeah,
much. So,
yeah.
thank you for allowing me to have an enjoyable morning because in New York it's 10 a.m. So, honestly, best morning ever. I'm very honored to have you on, and definitely, I want to know where people could help support Duncarron and stuff like that.
Well, we've got a donate button on our uh, Clan Ronald website, I think, and on the Duncarron website. But just, you know, give us a like, give us a share, you know, give us some positive feedback. Come and visit. Come and visit. There's stuff still there from season 7 Outlander. It's an enjoyable experience, and the photographs don't do it justice. It's absolutely massive, and yeah, keep an eye on us. Follow us on Instagram. We've got a lot going on. We're making a lot of short movies this year.
Oh,
Um, yeah, we've got Fire and Lace just won some awards. We've got Ye Jacobites coming out this year, and we've got it's in 3 parts, so that'll be quickly followed by 2026, 2027 as well. Um, yeah, there's no stopping us. We're like a train. We just keep going.
damn, I wish I was in Scotland. Like you could like gear me up.
Yeah, we can do all that as well. There's tours available into the costume department and the weapons department. Yeah, people can come and see. And aye, it's a great
Charlie,
experience.
I would be your worst warrior. I just would because I got that girly side to me, Charlie, and it's just it's no good. You would be like you'd cancel me as a client.
Yeah, I bet. Oh no,
Yeah, yeah, you I feel like you wouldn't give up on me, but oh my.
no, we don't give up on people, and we'd soon turn you into something warriorish anyway. Yeah,
Thank you, Charlie, for coming on.
you're welcome. Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Catch up on Lillee Jean Talks live episodes on lilleejean.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and basically anywhere you listen, watch, or see podcasts, or in my case, a celebrity talk show.